Welcome back to Albert Gaming. Since its inception, Genshin Impact has had numerous temporary events. Who remembers the Elemental Crucible from October 12th to 19th of last year? Or Unreconciled Stars, where we got a free official? At the time, I thought both of those were fantastic events, and I still do. But not all events are created equal. I wasn't a fan of the gliding challenge, and Windtrace might be the worst event that Genshin has had to date. But none of those are the current event. So, what about Midsummer Island Adventure? Well, I think it's the best event that Genshin Impact has ever had. I don't like Klee, so I prefer it would have been centered around a different character, and I'm also not a huge fan of the ending, but I'll save that spoiler for the end. Aside from these issues, it's been fantastic. I like the Golden Apple Archipelago a lot more than I thought I would. I think that has to do with two main things. First, it's the first new area to explore since Dragonspine released. Second, that boat's a lot of fun, isn't it? Let's address the first point. For most of us, it's been a while since we've explored Mondstadt and Liyue for treasure chests. Sure, some pop up here and there, but it's not like it was when we first explored these zones, at least not for me. But here, we had the first new chests to open in some time. Of course, their contents don't matter much. No one at Endgame cares about a couple green artifacts, but I still had a lot of fun exploring the islands and opening those chests anyway. And there's more to exploration, isn't there? To get Barbara's outfit, we need to explore the islands to find enough seashells to unlock it. Personally, I don't care for either Barbara or Jean's new outfits. I'm not buying Jean's and I'm not trying to unlock Barbara's, but the idea of searching for seashells is compelling and fun enough just to do it because it's fun, because it's new and it adds something to the game that we haven't seen in a while. Second, let's talk about the boat. I avoid spoilers as much as I can, so I don't know a whole lot about Inazuma yet, but if I recall correctly, I think Tectone mentioned in one of his videos that it's going to be a series of islands. And if that's the case, I hope we have this boat down the road to explore around Inazuma. But I also hope it wouldn't end there. You know, Tectone mentioned his interest in seeing the boat as a gadget, where he could do something like race his friends from one set point to another. I think that's a great idea, and I hope something like it happens. And if it's correct that Inazuma is a series of islands, then, I kind of would be surprised if MiHoYo didn't let us keep the boat in some way. But even if it is temporary, it's still a lot of fun. It doesn't feel clunky, its mechanics are sensible, and it's designed well. But the best thing here, I think, is that it provided us with the first new manner of travel since the game released. Sure, gliding around places can be fun, but after a while, I stopped enjoying climbing up mountain after mountain to glide as far as possible. Without this boat, getting around Golden Apple Archipelago would be a lot less fun. As a whole, I like how the rewards were distributed in this event. I'm not planning on missing a crown, so I like that I was able to get it on the first day of the event, because if I didn't want to go further, I didn't have to. We also got the billet trove and talent books early, so the rest of the shop was really just icing on the cake. I also enjoy the variety of activities from the first part through the fourth part. And these recordings here are from my alt account, which has yet to finish most of the events. Why is that important? Well, because that leads into the next thing I liked about how this event was designed. It was available for a long time, so we weren't rushed to complete things before it ended. At the time of recording, I have more than 5 days remaining to finish what I need on this alt account, so I didn't have to just do it on my main and then go straight to my alt account and get it all done at the same time, and I really liked that. Tenna posted a poll on his channel, asking his viewers how much they liked the 1.6 update. 61% rated it at 5 stars, 27% at 4, and only 12% made up the remaining 1 through 3. I didn't read the comments because I feel like that's a gray area, right? Like, it's part of his channel and it might amount to stealing his content to a degree, but I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the excitement was due to the event. Now, narrative spoilers are going to follow this point, so proceed at your discretion. I mentioned earlier that I didn't care much for the ending of the event's story. As mentioned earlier, I don't like Klee, but it's the narrative we had, so I tried my best to get into it. And I'll admit, even I got a bit curious about how they were going to wrap up the search for the Dodo King. But when it got to the reveal that Klee's mother was behind the whole thing, man, what a disappointment that was. So some near omnipotent sorceress, as Albedo described her, set up this whole thing just to amuse Klee. I was expecting something like a possible tie-in to the Abyss, but all we got was a stupid summer park. It's almost as bad as if the ending was that everything was all a dream. Now, I'm sure some people enjoyed this ending, but I just didn't. But even though I have my gripes about this narrative, the event overall was amazing, and I hope it inspires people to keep playing through to the next update and beyond. I, for one, am super excited to see what MiHoYo has in store for us with their next update. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys next week. Let me know in the comments, what did you think? Was it good? Was it bad? Why?